All right. Hey guys. So back with some more live sourcing. So I know that Danny was just on here a week ago or so. Danny, we were on, you did the live
Yep.
Walmart tour.
hmm
And so guys, I understand that, Q4 is coming up. And oh, by the way, if you could post, make sure to say that you can hear us okay. Also tell us where you're from. We love. I love coming, at least I do. I love seeing where people are coming in from. Uh, this community is awesome. We have people from all over the world that watch us live, and it's so neat, kind of humbling. But um, we are talking about online arbitrage. So, guys, I know that a lot of you in Q4 either can't do RA, can't go store to store. Maybe your nearest store is 2 hours away, and that's just not always possible to do. Maybe you can't get out. Maybe it just for whatever reason, this is not the you don't want to go from store to store. Maybe you live in another country and you're selling online in Amazon on Amazon.com, and you obviously can't do RA because you live outside the country. Well, there's online arbitrage, guys. You can do this from the comfort of your home. I think in the post I put, doing this online at home in your pajamas. So Danny, are you in your pajamas tonight or not?
Not tonight, not yet.
But
Soon.
you could be.
I could be.
You could do this from home. And guys, if you haven't listened to Lisa Morrison Larson's podcast, I think it's episode 99, I believe.
hmm
So encouraging. Guys, Lisa deals with some health issues. You see her live here on Tuesday nights. She's like the community inspiration for what she does. A couple of years ago, I think she said she literally did all Q4 from her bed, and her daughter and how some other helpers helped her pack and ship. But she shopped online completely during Q4 and killed it. And you guys can too. And so we're just showing you the options, that there's just so many more options for sourcing than just doing regular retail arbitrage. You can do this all online. And Danny's going to kind of walk us through how he does it. So Danny, I'll let you take it over and I'll just kind of provide color commentary.
Okay. Hey guys. So there's a lot of ways to do online arbitrage. Obviously, this is the way I do it is just one way. I prefer to do retail arbitrage, but to some of you, I completely understand maybe it's not feasible, or you live in an area where there's no places you can go shop. The town I live in has 350 people in it. So there is a Walmart close by, but I used to drive 3 hours one way to get to a cluster of Walmarts just to shop, or whatever store I was targeting at the time, Kmart, Staples, whatever. But so when I do retail arbitrage, the same principles apply online. There is no real right way or wrong way to do online arbitrage. I'm just going to show you one way that you can do it. So don't think that, oh, this is the only way, or I'm saying this is the only way. This is just one way. There's a lot of tools you can use that help speed up the process. I do it more of a manual fashion, so it might be good for those of you who would do it around a budget. Mm-hmm. And maybe can't afford to get some software to help you do online arbitrage. And doing it this way, I think you find a lot of little goodies that the software platforms may miss, and I know because I've used them before. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to show you. I don't know what I'm going to show you exactly, but we'll just kind of wing it here.
Yeah, because guys, this is what's perfect about this is kind of like the way that Jenny and I, when we do our rabbit trails, we don't plan in advance. This is like literally live over your shoulder. We're hanging out in Danny's living room with him, and he's just showing us his computer screen, and we're on Amazon. And it's not like he's got a bunch of them. When we do the RA sourcing, he's not scanned 50 items in advance and found 40 good ones just to show you, to make you think that, oh, it's so easy, anybody can do this. I mean, sometimes he strikes out too. So
yeah, I do. I've done it live more than once, so it's okay. It's not always, you hit a home run every time. Right. Sometimes it just comes easy, and you feel like when I'm really doing well on arbitrage or RA, I don't know why sometimes I think my brain thinks in cartoons or something, but I imagine the Harlem Globetrotters song in the background.
Right.
And you feel like you're so good, like you just got all the tricks and everything. You hear that song in the back of your head, and For those of you who were born and raised in the 80s, there you probably know what the Harlem Globetrotters are. But
Right. I could play it, but then we probably get the Facebook Live shut down.
so, so I feel like I'm just on top of the world. And other times it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. The the point is that you're consistently good or profitable, and that's what matters. So let's see what happens here. Again, I start searching on Amazon. For those of you on a budget, this is a great way to find some hidden stuff. Mm-hmm. I kind of think, since the holidays are coming up and we're going to be talking about Q4, we could probably highlight something like toys or Christmas stuff, or maybe some Christmas related decorations or whatnot. So I'm going to turn off my video just here, so I'll speed up my computer, and then we're going to just get going, and I'll hop back on here shortly.
Go for it.
All right. So don't have the Globetrotter song playing in my head yet. So let's see if we can get that going here. So let's just I'll show you something cool I've been testing out. Well, I don't know if I've been testing out, but something I failed to mention in the past. And as long as I've been doing this, I want to show you something kind of cool. And let's pick a category. Let's pick toys or something. Q4 is coming up, so obviously toys are going to sell. Look, people always ask me, how do you know a trend is coming, or how do you know what to sell? Because the last year, remember Love-A-Bella dolls. Everyone was selling those things in Christmas. I was selling them in the summertime when they were still $300, and I sold several of them for $300, and they were $99 at pretty much anywhere you could find them. So how did I know that? Some people ask me that. So sometimes I just in the back of my mind, I know things, but I fail to mention them. I don't know if you just know something really well and you just don't talk about it. So let's search something similar. Love-A-Bellas aren't really a thing anymore. Maybe Baby Alive or something like that. So one thing I like to do, obviously Amazon has all these nice filters here for you. You should definitely use them. The one we're going to look at here is up here. You sort by. So all you have to do is click newest arrivals. So newest arrivals are items that have just been listed recently, generally new launches. Typically, these are a mixture of listings created by other people and listings that were created by Amazon. Typically, you find more listings made by third-party sellers. So you always wonder how, oh my gosh, I scanned something in the store, or you scanned something online, and you wish you could teleport your item there and sell it for the price it's going at now. But you can do that. You always want to be that person that's in the buy box at that time. You're like, wow, what a great price. But man, I bet if I send it in, it's not going to do so hot. So the way you can pick up on those way before anyone else does is to search by newest arrival. So again, you don't need to. I use the Jungle Scout here, and the only reason I use it is just to get, is there any listings that are selling already or have some sort of information? You don't need Jungle Scout. There are free applications. Like I think the non-pro version, whatever, of Unicorn Smasher is free. There's some others out there. Ryan, if you know any as well that are sales estimators.
Scope, Seller Labs Scope does the same thing.
Yeah. So there's a couple of them. I've had this for a very, very long time, so don't think you need to go buy this. You can do the exact same thing with some free versions.
Yeah, guys, Seller Labs Scope is completely free. I'll put the link on here. They're a good friend of our community.
Yes. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want to see, if something has a rank established, which, I mean, most of the stuff's been listed recently and it is selling already, which is very encouraging because it's Baby Alive. One thing I like to do with Jungle Scout is I like to filter out Amazon. Just click filter results. We obviously are not wanting to compete against Amazon. So we're left with, this is only the first page, mind you, we're left with some possible things we could sell on. I only really see one Baby Alive item. I would probably extract another page, but this one's a fulfilled by merchant. It's already starting to sell here. So let's click this button and it'll bring up the page here. So really quick, you want to find out, where does this come from? It says it's an exclusive. So it's probably, it usually means it's a store exclusive normally. Amazon sometimes has exclusives on items, but obviously they're not the seller here. So if you right click on images like this looks like a stock photo to me. You can click search Google for image. It's built into your browser. So you just right click it.
Okay.
And you can search. Now that's what's going to tell us, where did that come from?
Oh, that's beautiful.
So first thing I see here, you see these two, they're Walmart. So that's a good sign. So let's. So
Danny, real quick, why most people do online arbitrage? They'll go to Walmart.com, look for the sale flyer, go online, look for the clearance section of clearance, just like they would do retail arbitrage. But you're starting with a brand name.
Yeah, you can start with a brand name, or you can start with something like a keyword like toothpaste or something like that.
Guys, the reason he's doing this is what he teaches all the time, reverse sourcing. So you're letting basically Amazon tell you what's popular, and then you can find it in the store. So if you remember from his RA video a week ago, he wasn't scanning item after item. He was in an aisle and typed in a brand name of items that he saw that were a lot of them on the shelf. So for example, Pioneer Woman. If you're in Walmart, you see a bunch of Pioneer Woman, you can scan all 25 Pioneer Woman items, or you can simply type in Pioneer Woman and then see what looks like has a good rank, has a good profit potential, and then you find it on the shelf. He's doing the exact same here. So you're not in an aisle, so he's thinking, okay, baby alive. But he's doing the same thing he does in the store. You reversing it. So type in baby alive, what listing that looks like it's inflated price-wise, has a decent rank, or it looks like it's maybe already sold. And now you're trying to find the store where you can get it from. So that's why he did the reverse image search.
Exactly. So, if you see it pop up on a big retailer like Walmart, just click on it and see what happens. You may not see it right away. It happened to show up right away, but it'll be somewhere on that page. So just click around and find it. It's probably on that page or some other page, the next one. You notice here it's selling for $48.82. Looks like it's a fairly new item. It is an exclusive here, and Walmart's selling it, so it's probably exclusive to Walmart. Right now, it's not selling for much. It's selling for $70, but and free shipping. So I would certainly consider listing this for like $85, somewhere in that range. I think it would sell. I mean, it's selling at $70.74. But if you were to get in there and be the first FBA seller, you would get sales. From my experience, I can say that with confidence. Even if you did not get the buy box per se, you could still get sales. And let me show you why that is. Let's go back here to this page. And let's see, it may not work here, but most people, when they buy Prime, they're searching, I want Prime only listings. So they're going to click this. You notice what happened? That listing went away. And that's because there are no Prime offers. So it's gone. If you were the Prime seller on that, it would put you in the buy box, regardless of whether someone's cheaper, $20, $30 cheaper than you. It would put you in the buy box as a Prime seller. And you would get the sale. So that's why I say price it. Don't worry about what the merchant fulfilled seller is doing. Everyone, the majority of people that come to Amazon are looking for Prime offers because they want it right away. I mean, they pay for a Prime subscription. So just so you know that I use this, I can't tell you the last time I bought something that was non-Prime. A couple of books possibly that there was just no way I could get it Prime, and that was it. Other than that, I'm always buying stuff that's Prime. So when you uncheck it, you notice here they're back again. So let's see here. Let's tell you what. Let's I don't know. Let's just keep going. found one that could be potentially good.
As you could do this with any brand, you could still open up the store flyer, or go online to their online store, look at clearance, and then use those brand names to reverse it. This doesn't mean you stop going and looking at clearance, because clearance, as we said, clearance is the gravy. So still still looking for those clearance items, but this is the way to find what we call hidden listings, because he's not typing in UPC codes. He's typing in brand names. So he's going to find bundles and other things that don't come up with the UPC code.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm extracting a couple of pages. So the second and third page, let's see if we can find some more listings possibly that we can sell on. Just going to wait for it to update here. It's still spinning. Let's see here. Now we'll go ahead and filter Amazon out of the picture. So filter by, try filter by sales. Let's see here. Just looking for something I recognize. There's that Baby Alive right there.
So Danny, what are you looking for right now as you're going through here?
So what I'm looking for is anything that usually I'll just try to avoid the lower price stuff.
Sure.
After fees, you're probably going to get eaten up. I can't imagine selling something like that profitably. It's a big package of something, and $10.99 probably not. And this is not a Baby Alive anything anyway. Just diapers, a private label diaper brand. So, and again, I'm just looking for something that maybe it's over $25. It could be a potential profitable item. So,
and guys, you don't have to do it that way. This is what he's doing. So, like for example, if you see something that's like $17.96, and you've been in the store and at Walmart this sells for $5, well, that would be something totally to click on.
This looks like a fairly boring listing here. So I've never seen this before. So who knows? Let's just take a look. It is a new listing according to Amazon, a newer one. So there may be a reason for that. So we can try to search for it. You just never know. Again, I'm just going to wing it here. Not sure what's going to come up.
You just right click. You didn't have a.
No special extension.
No extension or anything.
So you notice I clicked on this and I don't see it right away, but it's probably on this page somewhere. So we'll just kind of scroll down here.
There it is right there.
So it's only for $11.72. It looks like Walmart is no longer stocking this or does not have it. You notice it's sold and shipped by Galactic Toys. So that's not Walmart. So let's go back here. Still could be, it's such a small item. It's just a tiny little baby doll. You probably could I would list that for probably 20, 22, somewhere in there. And you could probably, I don't see it anywhere else. I was just looking to see if I see that item anywhere else. But here's another one. Hasbro does sell it. It's a different color, but that's a hint. Maybe Hasbro has it on their website. And it's $10. So that could be profitable. Small, sell it for $20, $21. It could be good. Again, let's go back to maybe the image showed up elsewhere. I don't see it. One thing you can do if you're wanting to look on a specific site, you can type in site, and then just type in the site, shop.hasbro, and see if it comes up. It didn't come up, but that's a good way of finding it. So if you were again to type in Walmart, it brings it up. It only searched that website. Just want to show that to you real quick. Maybe I'll try to find somewhere where that might be irrelevant. What we'll do is I think I'll go and try to find a discontinued item and see. And this works really well if it's an old item or discontinued and you're trying to find it on eBay, it's really hard to find those items visually through eBay because there's so many different listings. So it works really well when you do it this way by doing site : and the URL, leave the www off. So let's see here. Okay, speaking of that, let's try to do that. One thing I like to sell during Christmas time, I like nativity sets, so I usually can do really well with those. So just came to mind. So let's I'll just stick with toys. There's all kinds of nativity sets.
While that's pulling up, do you ever buy third party from Walmart for online arbitrage? Like, would you ever buy somebody?
I have, yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes, I certainly have. Let's see here. Okay, so I love these Fisher Price nativity sets. They usually come out with a new one every. It varies every 2-3 years, sometimes every 4 years. They always make them cheaper. They're never as good as the last one. So a lot of these nativity sets do really well during Christmas time. Amazon almost always runs out of stock on this stuff. So you can pick these up locally, or you can pick them up on other websites besides Amazon and just sell them on Amazon. I do it all the time. So, and you can too. But for the sake of this, I talked about Fisher Price. Let's see. Let's just, I clicked on the brand over there, Fisher Price. Let's just look at those.
So Danny, tell me, pretend I'm brand new. I've never done this before. What are you looking at that I can then replicate and do this on my own? So I want to make this a step-by-step. You're the master. I'm the student. So like, tell me exactly what you'd be looking for so that after I'm done with this, I can go and do this on my own.
Well, stick with the best advice I can give you is stick with something you know. So I know toys really well. I know home improvement stuff very well, like tools and stuff. I also know, like outdoor stuff pretty well. So stick with something you know, and start there. So if you're really into crafts, arts and crafts, stick with that. So just type in something like yarn or maybe some knitting needles, or you can type in, I'm sorry, I'm not a crafts guy. So maybe you popsicle sticks or something like that. And what you can do is you can type that in, maybe look for listings that you are looking for listings Amazon is not on by filtering them out here with Jungle Scout or another tool that's free that we had mentioned, Scope and Unicorn Smasher. So, and see if you can source that. Two things will happen. You're either going to find a place where you can buy that, say on a website like Walmart or Target, and you can just sell profitably, or you're going to find a wholesaler for it, or a supplier or distributor for that. I have found some of the wholesalers I've worked with in the past by doing this. I stumbled across one of my best wholesalers when I was sourcing like this. I was looking at tools, and next thing I know, I stumbled across not the manufacturer, their importer for those tools, and I'd set up an account with them, and literally 5 minutes later, I had access to their wholesale account. So I started ordering items off of there. So we're not talking necessarily with the lens of online arbitrage, but you're also thinking about, okay, maybe that's something I can open up a wholesale account with. Obviously, Fisher Price or like a big brand like this, they're probably not going to give you a wholesale account unless you have some brick and mortar storefront exposure. Some of them just, they don't need any more distribution, so they're just going to tell you no. But a lot of these places are selling it to you as cheap or cheaper than you could get it anyway, wholesale, if you were able to do that. And that's typically found with big brands like Fisher Price, Lego, Hasbro for toys, and then KitchenAid for something home and kitchen. Just those big brands that you recognize, they're going to sell it to you barely above what you could get it for anyway. So you're just finding those gaps within Amazon where Amazon doesn't exist, or maybe an item is no longer available on Amazon, and you're going to take advantage of those and sell on those in those gaps.
Perfect. So real quick, so you said start with what you know. So let's pretend that I know Fisher Price. I've been in the store. I've checked these out. I know about what prices are, or maybe, my Callan's 17 months old now. Maybe I know toys because we're looking for toys for him. So guys, just trying to make this so really simple that you can go back and do this on your own without, having to call up Danny and say, hey, help me out. You got this Jungle Scouts open, or you wouldn't even have to have Jungle Scout. You could just scroll through the page that he has right behind this screen. And what looks inflated? Like that $30.99 one, is that way more than it is at a store, or way more than you think it would be retail? Well, you look at that, and it also has a really good, it says it's ranked 256. So that's a really good rank. And it looks like you might have some profit potential there. That's one you'd click on. And then you go and look for it online somewhere and see if you can source it at a price to be able to make money. Guys, it's as simple as that. There's just a couple ways you can do online arbitrage. At least two main ways is you're online, you're in the clearance section online, and you then look on Amazon and see if you can make a profit. So you're starting with the store. This is starting on Amazon and saying, okay, Amazon, you tell me of all the Fisher Price nativity sets, what is popular and has profit potential. So that's basically what you're asking Amazon. It spits out this data, and then you're just looking for the ones that have an inflated price and the sales rank that looks like a good sales rank for the toy category, and then try to find it online. Danny, does that pretty much sum it up?
That does sum it up. So guys, the reason you can run Jungle Scout anywhere, or a tool like this anywhere on Amazon, as soon as you go up here and you filter Amazon out, and you filter the results, we put them back in. So we click it, uncheck them. Someone, I guarantee you, they're selling it for a profit on that listing. It's up to you as the seller to go find out where do they source that product. So you're not always going to find the source for it. Maybe they just bought it in bulk, but more often than not, you're going to find out where that product came from. It may be a different source they got it from, but somebody on these merchant fulfilled listings, these third-party sellers, these FBAs and FBMs, no Amazon, they're selling it profitably. So, and it's up to you to go find out where did they get that from, a potential source for that, whether it's a wholesaler or a closeout, or they're just maybe selling one or two that they had laying around. It doesn't matter. They're selling it somehow. They're selling it profitably. So there's a source for that product. Cheaper than what they're selling it for on Amazon. Amazon, don't worry about going toe to toe with them. They're probably going to sell it for what you can source it for anyway on most occasions. So that just gives you hope, knowing that every time you see listings that only have those FBA or fulfilled by merchant or fulfilled by Amazon sellers on them, they're making profit. So you can find out where are they getting that product from, just like we did on the Baby Alive. Right. So on these lists, wow, $120. So wow. These are the kinds of things I like to see.
What do you see? What do you like to see there? The 100.
Wow, I just love. Man, I just love seeing things like this.
$120, guys. That's obviously inflated.
Yeah. Okay.
And so Wendy's asking too. What would you do if you didn't have Jungle Scout? I know it's nice because Jungle Scout and Scope and Unicorn Smasher show you all the data on one screen. It makes it easier to look at. But if you didn't have these tools, what would
it's very labor intensive at that point. So I would try. I don't think I could do it quite as well. It would take me a very long time. All I'm doing is I'm capturing the data I want to see, no FBA, no Amazon, and just getting left with, it's kind of like sifting for gold. You got the all that black pay dirt, and you got to sift through it to find the gold. So that's part of our sifting process. We're taking the dirt, sifting through it, and working our way down to the gold here. And so we're left with a few listings. If I didn't have these tools, boy, it'd be a very, very painful manual process, I think. So you might as well just pop on one of those free tools and use it. I hate to even think what if scenario about like that. So that would be kind of a nightmare to me. So yeah, might pull my hair out. So these tools are nice, and there's only a handful that I use, and this happens to be one of them. Something like this. So sorry, that was kind of maybe not the right answer, but I also noted, let's see here. So anything like this, again, if this is obviously has sold, what you can do, $120 seems pretty absurd for this product, but let's take a look. You just can't judge a book by its cover, as I always say. First of all, the first thing I would probably do is if we can find this and source it profitably, I would probably check Keepa second. So this might be a good opportunity for us to look at Keepa. You know, I'm just going to look at it right now. That just seems like
yeah. I just got off a webinar with Kate in a private label group about Keepa.
It just seems like an absurd price point. Before I even waste my time trying to find it, let's take a look. The reason we're looking at Keepa, we just want to see is that a legit price? I mean, or did it just recently go up to that lofty level? So, well, you see this line here. It's at 148, 148, 148, and then the price dropped down here to 90, and it sold at the $90 price point. You notice this green line just drops down to 63,000. Someone sold it for $90. Still a great price point. You know, this blue line is missing in lots of areas because it was just completely out of stock. So it looks like it's sold back here for $43, and then it's jumped around up here. It's sold for $80, $90 seems like to be a good price point. You know, this blue line's right around that area, $75, $80. And you notice these very drastic drops in the green line. Those are sales. So if we can source it and sell it for $90 or less, then it's probably a winner because it likes to be at that price point. People will buy it at that, which to me, that still seems crazy. So, but we can't judge because maybe this is part of a set, it looks like. So maybe they're missing this piece. So let's search and maybe we can find something. And obviously this isn't going to be at walmart.com. They're not going to have this part anymore. So the best place to go and find this would be eBay, I would say, site ebay.com. Who knows if they have it? Nope, they don't have it. Nothing came up here, so that's okay. Let's find another example. Look, we're just going to trial and error here. So let's go to, what's this one here? I see something, this one. I don't think it showed up in Jungle Scout, and I think it's because has a suppressed buy box, meaning that it says available from these sellers and you can't add it to the cart. You actually have to click here. It doesn't look like that didn't show up on Jungle Scout here. So wow, so this sells for $181.
Jeez.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's just check Keepa, make sure real quick. Let's not waste our time.
Call up Kate Chaddock. Help me help with the
So so it is sold here at once. A lot of this, don't pay attention to this. This is just a lot of noise in the graph. But if you see something that's a very drastic drop in rank, that was a sale. If you look back 3 months, it's there may be only 1-2 sales. I like items like this personally. Here we go. So we can look back a little further. Seems like the price somewhere around $120 it will sell. $150 it is sold in the past. So I like items like this. I buy items like this all the time. I buy, like I said, my profits are very high because I source from places like Mercari or eBay.
Mercari, you said? Mercari?
Mercari.com. I mentioned that at CES. And
I remember you mentioning that, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see if we can find this again. Let's, I like this. I think, if I can find this and sell it for $120, $50, I would go for it. It's going to sell here at Christmas time. Let's see here. Let's go to site, eBay. I'm getting a little nervous, guys. I haven't really found a whole lot, so let's see if we can.
Okay, but here's the main thing is, Danny, that you're teaching us how to do it. It's not that. I mean,
Yep.
everybody knows that that you're obviously successful with it. So it's more about you teaching us how to do this than like, oh man, I just found 10 items. It's the process that can be repeatable that we want to teach.
Oh, hot dog. Look here. $62. This seller is currently away, so they're on a vacation. So they have one sold. The seller is currently away. If you make a purchase or maybe a delay in processing or whatever, generally that means they're on vacation or they have the store set on vacation. So you could click on the picture and it'll take you to. So they have one available and they've sold one, and it's at $62. So you can click to, you can add this to your save the seller, or there's usually when they're on vacation like this, you just kind of have to wait and just kind of watch this item, save the URL. But wow, $62. Okay, I can go with that. I can dig that. So you can pick that up and sell it, and you make you could sell. I would sell for probably 150, 120, 150, somewhere in there. It does sell, and it has sold. Doesn't mind that price point here. It's even sold at the $150 price point. So there's a potential item there. Unfortunately, it's not available for sale.
Was that that was buy it now auction, right?
No, yeah, since they're on vacation right now.
Wendy was asking; she thought it was an auction, but it looks like
auction. Yeah, I don't know. It could be, but right now I see the price it. So again, we haven't really searched eBay. There may be some other listings for that, but I'm not going to take the time to do that right this moment. All right, so we looked at that. Let's do something different here. Let's search. Close some of these tabs here. Let's see. What we could do is, let's see if we can find.
People are asking about buying from eBay. No problems at all. You'd have no issues buying it from
No,
eBay.
not at all.
Selling it on Amazon as new, as long as it was new in the box, still have the shrink wrap.
Exactly. So I typically buy discontinued products from eBay, so you're not going to have an issue. I've never once bought something from eBay and had like an intellectual property claim or something like that. A lot of these companies have come out and said they don't care that there are third-party sellers selling their discontinued or older model stuff, Legos like that. They don't care. They think it's a good thing that they're, people are supplying the market for those older sets. So I'm not going on there and buying a Apple phone or something and trying to sell it on Amazon. That would be a little risky, but I'm fine buying discontinued stuff, older stuff on there. That's where I really make my gravy. We usually talk about replenishable items, but in this instance, I'm showing you the other side of my business, which is buying discontinued items. So, so we can talk a little bit about replenishables if we think that's something we should talk about a little bit here.
Why don't you,
okay.
You can touch on it real quick. Yeah.
So a replenishable item, just so for those of you who may not know, is just something you can buy over and over again off the shelf or on the virtual shelf on any website and sell it profitably. It doesn't have to be Amazon. You can sell stuff from Walmart on eBay. It doesn't matter. A replenishable item is just something you can sell over and over again. You're not relying on some sale or a clearance item to find it. You can just keep buying it over and over again. So there are a lot of items that fit that description. There's probably millions of them on Amazon. They can be wholesale items, but we also, and I have lots of items like that, but they could also be something that's a big name brand. Let's see. Let's try something. Okay. This time of year, it kind of reminds me about Werther's Originals or something like that, or some sort of candy, or those caramel apple pops, things like that. They sell all year long, but I kind of like to look at those items at this time of year because they seem to sell really well. So let's take a look at something like that. You could just type in Werther's. We don't want to get too specific because we want Amazon to show us all the listings for this. So lots of listings here. You'll notice up here there are over 3,000 results. What we can do is usually when I'm checking, we'll not worry about the brands right here. Let's just go through here and see what we find.
Werther's, so that's the initially, candy that my grandma would give.
Yeah, my grandma always had these, but I think they're great. I love them. They taste great.
I like them too.
I love the caramel filled ones. They're just so yummy. I tend to gravitate towards things I like. And again, this is what I'm telling you. Stick with what you know initially and what you like.
Yep.
And you're going to find some profitable items. So,
and guys, this is also a process that a VA could do for you. So don't think that you have to, and don't think that this is what Danny does all day long. Just looking for do this all day, looking for online arbitrage deals. He does not do this very much, honestly, anymore.
No.
And so you could totally outsource this to somebody else. And in the Proven Q4 playing groups, we're going to be going over and trying to get this down to where it's like, do this, do this, do this, just so it's a repeatable system that you can just do over and over again and have somebody do it for you.
Just got a feeling about. I think this could be good.
Wait. So tell me what makes you say that?
I'm seeing a lot of listings that sell well, and I'm just glancing over here, and I notice there's a lot of Amazon not around. They're only on a handful of listings, so that tells me that there is some potential there. I probably extracted way too many results here, so let's stop here after this.
And finished. Just also other thing too, guys, is some people are okay with selling against Amazon. Kate was in a private label group just earlier saying that she has no problem competing against Amazon. But the reason Danny's taking Amazon away, though, is because he's going to be finding a lot of these, quote, we talk about them a lot, hidden listings that somebody else created that might be a bundle, might be just something totally different. And Amazon is not usually on those listings. That's how he's finding these hidden ones. He's removing Amazon.
It's just a habit of mine to usually search by price. I like to start at the nice lofty prices, and maybe I can sell at the $30, $40 price point. Generally, your profit dollar amount will be higher.
Yeah, what's cool about this tool, guys? So again, I'm just trying to make sure that you understand what he's doing. So he's looking at the price, and it's like, okay, $40.99 for Werther's. Okay, that obviously is high. So let's check that out. So he just takes the mouse and scrolls over it and sees that it's a 4-pack. This one, in fact, this one's $28.99. So okay, I don't buy Werther's. I like them, but I don't buy them. But I know that $28.99 for 4 packs is way more than I would expect to pay Walmart. So that gets you going, thinking, okay, I need to check this further. Is this even selling at $28.99? You can look at Keepa and see if it's really even selling at that price. If you do see that it is selling, they're like, oh my gosh, well, I found one there's only 2 people on this listing. Now let's see if we can source it and get it for a price that would allow us to make profit, which you should be able to, because $28.99 is ridiculous for 4 packs.
So let's see. So that was sorry. I just saw that was sold by someone other than
Walmart.
Let's go to shopping tab. Let's see here.
What's that Jada's for $2.95?
Don't know. That yeah. So this is sold by somebody other than Walmart. So it's they're probably selling it or trying to sell it for a profit. So let's go back here.
Guys, even if he doesn't find something here, the process is he's looking at, wow, those. So he typed in Werther's. Wow, that is expensive for 4 packs. So we know that there's profit potential there. Is it even selling? Check Keepa. And then, okay, it's got a great rank. It's selling. Now doesn't mean it's selling 5 or even 10 a day. What if it sells 10 a month? Still, that would be a product that you could just continually replenish. And now you just got to find a source. So that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to find a source that we can put the 4 together and make profit.
I'm not familiar with this website. I've stumbled across something here, maybe.
So if Dan, if you're not familiar with something, would you go ahead and purchase from this to test it out?
I don't know. You know when I've ran across websites like, well, that's weird. When I've ran across websites like this before, what I've done is I'll order something really small.
Yep, to test it out.
See if they actually get it. And then I've had websites like this turn into very good sources for online arbitrage that no one shops. So, so be careful. What you can do is you can also search this website and see if, it's a scam. You could just do shopjadas.com and see if it's a scam, and maybe there's also some websites out there like the BBB for online stores. And so if someone's reported them, it'll show up in the search results. For the sake of this, I'm not going to even check that one.
Sure.
I don't want to steer you guys down
no problem. Nathaniel's asking, what was in the 4-pack again? What was the flavors?
Two vanilla creams and 2 cocoa creams, soft. They're soft caramels. So.
Oh, Terry says her dollar store sells the Werther's, so there would be an option right there.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, go to a dollar store and grab these.
Make sure it's the right size. Usually they sell the
right size. Yep.
The really, really small size. So.
All right, guys, repetition again. He's just looking through here like, wow, $19.99, 2 packs. That may be more than what it would normally be. Let's look at the listing. Is it selling? And then let's try to source it.
So trying to find out the size of these. So it looks like 5.5 ounce bags. So caramel cream. Let's say these, you can't really do a reverse image search because it's going to try to search this whole image. So doing that is not going to do any good. It's basically just going to take you back to Amazon. So you're probably going to have to just type that in where there's originals, creamy caramel filled. Originals, creamy caramel filled. So it looks like $2.49. I recognize this website. So, and it's Google Express, so you can order it through there. So they're $2.50. So you're looking at $10 buy cost. Possibly that would just right off the bat. So that may not be the best source for it though. So you could search around for a better source. $2.49. If you could ever, well, here's the creamy caramel filled. I believe that was creamy caramel filled, and it's at Blaine's Farm and Fleet for $2.29. And that so it's a little cheaper. I've ordered from this website. They're legit. So
me too.
Yep. So I think that we
you found one there.
Looks like Target has it as well, possibly. So see store for price. It's not sold on their website, which a lot of times some of my best replenishables are only found in the store. I know something brought up Dollar Tree, but they're 2.65 ounce bags. So, just be careful about the size when you order these. You don't want to order the wrong size and send it in on that listing. People will be a little upset. They don't care if the bag is slightly bigger ounce wise, and because it's a special size and you list it on a listing like this, and maybe it was 6 ounces, people are not going to care that they got a slightly bigger size, but they're going to care if they got a slightly smaller size or half as many Werthers as they originally anticipated. So, but because you always get those peanuts or chips you get a bonus 10%, but then you go to look at it on Amazon and it's actually the older size, so it's 10% less. So you can still sell on that listing. They're getting 10% bonus. They're not going to complain about getting 10% more Lay's chip. I don't.
Yeah, nobody's going to be doing that.
Yeah, so.
Nicholas is asking, so there's no meltable concern for Werthers, right?
No, not these caramels, yes, but for the hard candies, no.
Right.
So for these, but I'm glad we brought this up because October 1st, you can start sending this stuff in and not worry about it. So we got something here that could be good. This is a 2.35 ounce. They have a good picture, so I can actually tell. So let's see. I'll have to type this in. Werther's caramel chocolate. Caramel chocolate, 2 point, whatever size that was, 2.35. Okay. So I see a lot of Amazon. I did notice that last page there.
Yeah, Danny James just mentioned that he found something that's an under the radar replenishable. And guys, that's what we're looking at. That's basically what we're doing here is that, remember when most Amazon sellers are doing retail arbitrage, they're scanning UPC codes. But buyers on Amazon aren't scanning UPC codes to find stuff. They're typing in product. They're typing in keywords. They're typing in Werthers. So imagine you're in a Walmart, you're in the Werther section, you scan a barcode, you're going to find some listings, but you're not going to find as many as you would if you typed in Werther's. That's exactly what he's doing here, but only he's doing this from home. So he's typing in the Werther's brand name and what shows up. Okay. And then you look at it like, oh man, this looks $38 for Werther's. Let's check it out. Okay. It's a 4-pack. And that seems like that's way more than it should be. Okay. And it's inflated, but it's still selling. People are buying from that listing. So now let's find how we can find a place to source it. That's the process. So starting with a brand name or something like that, instead of a UPC code, look for the ones that have a higher price, that would be way more than you think you'd find it in a retail store. And then you find the source. So that's what we mean by reversing it. You're starting with Amazon and you're saying, Amazon, you tell me what are the Werther's listings on Amazon that basically have a high price. That's kind of what you're asking. And then you are looking for the supplier for it. That's to boil it down.
Exactly. So we found it here.
And that's how he's finding these quote hidden listings because he's not using the UPC code.
So if we found it, this is profitable. It sells Blaine's Farm and Fleet. 229. We had 2.35 ounce. So we got sugar free. So we got a match here. 229. So your buy cost is going to be about $9 per se. Blaine's, they always offer free shipping deals if you order so much. One thing always remember to have, just quickly mention for you OA people, have the honey extension. It'll try to automatically add some promo codes for you. So if we were to put 15 of these in the cart, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, and guys, that's another great tip is now with those extensions like that, you can take an item that is profitable but not so exciting to something that's, wow, that's a decent profit now.
So yeah, notice there's 5 off 50. Okay, let me try that. So let's go ahead.
A lot of you are asking about if you're gated in this category. We'll just request approval. It's not a hard process. We can post a video on how to get approved or how to request approval.
So they're talking about grocery in general being gated.
Grocery in general, but also then like the Werther's brand.
Is it a restricted brand? Is that
I
what
don't
they're
even
saying?
know if it is or not, but if it is, it's not that hard to request approval.
Okay. So there are some, doesn't look like there are a lot of promo codes here, but I did notice there's a $5 off 50, so you could lower your buy cost a little bit that way. I use this other extension called Price Blink. Sometimes it'll show me a place where you could buy it cheaper, but honestly, I like to look at the coupons. It picks up on some others as well. So you could add a few more to your cart there and check out.
So basically, Danny, Wendy's asking, she wants to be able to sell Pillsbury, for example. How do you get unrestricted for Pillsbury? Well, Danny, tell me if I'm this is right. Find a listing for Pillsbury that you're restricted on, and then on the back end of your Amazon account, grab the ASIN, post it into where it says inventory sell a product? Is that right?
Yes.
Inventory,
inventory, add a product.
Yep. Pop in the ASIN. It'll pull up the one that you're restricted on, and then you just hit request approval.
That's right.
Maru, he was using a coupon extension called Honey, HONEY.
It's free. Yeah, I like free. So, here's another listing. Probably won't look at this one look closely. I'll let you look at it, but judging by what we saw here, could be another listing to sell on. Excuse me. Interesting. I've never seen that one before. Guys, I like to leave little tips, as I don't always say buy this, buy that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave you a little breadcrumbs, and you can follow and pick them up later. So this is a 2-pack for, chewy caramels. I think these were let's go back and look here. Those were the Werther's Originals chewy caramels. Chewy. My favorite, chewy caramels. 5.5.
And what was the other one you were using besides Honey? You Price Blink, right?
Price Blink, yep. I think we might have knocked it out of the park here. This is $279.
Mm-hmm.
And,
this is Fry's Electronics.
Very reputable retailer.
Exactly. Well, it is, but you wouldn't think about, hey, I want to go to Fry's and give me some Werther's.
It's just an impulse buy at checkout. I got my flat screen TV, and I'm going to get my Werther's Originals. Yeah. So I like Google Express. If you haven't used it, a lot of times they're really trying to get into the e-commerce little realm. They're basically just showing you and pointing you towards retailers, and they make a little bit of money referring you to a retailer. But you can get 20% off your first order by using Google Express. I've used it before. It kind of worked a lot how Jet worked in the beginning. They were just drop shipping stuff from other retailers when they started. And they would just search the internet for the best price. And when you bought it, it came from some random place like Ace Hardware. And that guy sold that to Walmart for what, $2 billion or so. So,
okay, so tell them real quick. So you said you were finding replens. This is something that you could sell over and over again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only $279. You could probably squeeze the price down a little bit more. I don't think Fry's Electronics would be the best place to source this. I know you could source this somewhere else. I just clicked on the first thing I saw.
Right. You could totally spend more time and find a better source. But guys, here's the point, is that you could totally do online arbitrage and just go to clearance sections of websites, and you could do well and make money. But then you're always looking for more clearance. So what we talk about, and especially when we talk about in the proven Q4 plan a lot, is that to build your business on what we call replens, or things that you can sell over and over again. And when we say replens, we're not talking about grocery items necessarily or consumables. It could be just anything. In this instance, it is a grocery item, but it's anything that sells over and over again. That's how you build a business that is sustainable long term. And he's finding these replenishables that are, we call them hidden. They're not really hidden. They're hidden because you're not going to be finding them with the UPC code. Because guys, when you create bundle listings, for example, you're using a new UPC or a GTI and exemption. So he's finding these by typing in brand names. And so he now has a list of replenishables, guys. These people like Honey and Kate, who are in our proven Q4 playing group that are helping us out. Their husbands came home because they have a long list of items that they could sell over and over again. And they're just going into a store now or going online now with a shopping list. And then, yes, they are scanning the clearance items because that's the gravy for them, but it's not what they built their business upon. So this is a key strategy. And this is what Danny, we had our webinar last night in the Q4 group, and we said the 2 keys to having a long-term sustainable business are, I think we said, reverse sourcing, which Danny taught tonight, and replenishables. Those are the 2 things that are going to help you have an awesome Q4 and an awesome next year. Now, again, that doesn't mean you don't do clearance. It just means you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off, always looking for more inventory. It's now you have a list to buy from, and that's a list that you can give a VA if it's online. It's a list that you can give a shopper. And just say, hey, go buy this stuff for me. That's how you build a long-term business that allows you to quit your job. And so that's what we're going to be teaching in the Q4 groups, guys. And would love for you to join us and learn these strategies, because we're going to be hitting these hard to make sure that you guys understand these key things that are going to allow you to have the business that you really want to have.
So so this item is just a beautiful example of replenishable. It's just top notch. Love it.
What's you notice
this is the Werther's, that 2-pack. Okay.
Cool.
You can buy it for less than, about $5. Sells for $13 to $15. You look really quick. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's do the FBA calculator here. So let's say at the most it cost us $5. And we'll just put something like.
Danny, for expiration dates, a lot of sellers in our group, they do that spreadsheets. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of people keep spreadsheets. Amazon keeps track of the because they make you put the expiration date in this when you do your shipments.
Right.
If something's getting close to expiration, they just dispose of it or send it back to you. So this one here, your net profit is $4.35. So a very good, solid return. It's a very small item. I mean, this doesn't take up any space hardly. So, and when we go back to Keepa here, this is a year-long graph. So it's consistently sold between $13 and $15. You notice. And look at this. There's only been the number of sellers has pretty much remained the same. And that's because this listing is not easy to find. I mean, to me, it seemed easy to find it. But for the typical seller out there who is scanning barcodes, you're never going to find this. You could scan the barcode on that particular item. You're never going to find it. So this one seller here, and I kind of looked across for the last year, he's been selling on this, and I probably ruined it for him here, but apologize if this was your listing. But anyway, he's selling it for between $13, $15 for the last year, and making, about $5 profit per sale. And this is sold, just rough estimate, maybe 200 times this year so far. That's conservative, I think, just based on its average sales and looking at the statistics here. So that extrapolate that out, $200 times $5, you've made $1,000 a year profit on this one silly, what most people would say, silly Werther's Originals
Yeah,
listing.
absolutely. So how many,
So
guess what, $1,000 a year, guys. How many products like that would it take for you to
it
quit your
just
job, to cover your mortgage, to pay your car payment from your Amazon business? I mean, that
for
just,
the average person, average income, you only need to find 50. The average income has risen to like 52,000 a year. So on average, people could find 50 of these. I probably could, if I sat here all day, I bet I could find, if I was really picky, I could probably find 20, 25.
yeah. Travis in our group, Danny, yesterday, I don't know if you saw in the Q4 group, he said that he found 6 replens in 15 minutes.
Exactly. So if once you get practicing, get really good at it, it just doesn't take a lot. You doesn't need to be like a lightning seller, sells like hundreds of times a day. We want the boring products that just kind of fly under the radar all the time and sell consistently. This is just a beautiful, beautiful keeper graph. This is just great. No Amazon, very consistent, steady, rock solid. Don't buy this because there may be some other people buying. This is a rabbit trail. This is just giving you some hints on things maybe you could check on your own. You will find other listings. So, or something related to this item. Every time we have done webinars, and I get messages later say, "Hey, Danny, while you're on the webinar, I went off on my own
and bought that
list and I ended up finding 6 or 7 items, and I ordered them before you were off the webinar." And I was like, "That's great." So awesome. I see other things. My brain sees other things. And if I were shopping by myself right now and not in front of everyone, I would go do it right now and buy it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to just ruin it all for everyone. Just go and find these and just rinse and repeat what I did here.
Yep.
And I will tell you, almost all of my replenishables, I would say, gosh, I mean, everyone that I know personally and their replenishables, none of that stuff is restricted. Rarely is it restricted items. Yeah, we're not selling replenishable Apple products or replenishable, Hasbro items, things like that necessarily. It's just these boring items like, wart medicine. I don't know, something like that. Or you got some aspirin, or just think kind of like those boring products. It doesn't have to be a consumable product. It just has to be, it could be a pots and pan set. It doesn't matter. That could qualify as a replenishable as well. Some people ask me, does it have to be a consumable item? Does it have to be a grocery item? Mm-hmm. No, all replenishable means is you can just buy it over and over again. It could be a tire it could be your lawnmower blade. I've had lawnmower blades I've sold, trimming wire,
Absolutely. Lynette's asking, how many sellers are too many for you?
Good question. During Christmas, I've never really found myself dealing with that question that often, because most of the time listings I find maybe have 1 to 5, 6 sellers tops on them. Mm-hmm. So I never really found myself grappling with that concern about having too many sellers. But let's say it's Q4, I'm picking up some hot toys. If I see more than 50 FBA sellers, I'm going to be very concerned that unless that item is like red hot, there's going to be there's probably a glut of inventory, and that price is just going to slowly but surely trend downward. So, let's see. If I have more time, maybe I could show you a list.
We've gone like an hour and 9 minutes. We probably should cut it off in about 10 or 15 minutes. We don't want to keep people forever.
I can wrap up by answering some questions, and then we'll call it, guys.
We've had Honey in the group. So we've
perfect.
Seen some of our other mods that have helped answer questions. Honey's knocked out a ton of them with me.
Awesome. Let's see, I'm on a streak here.
No, that's good.
Starting to hear that that Globetrotters head song in my head now. So you're getting on a streak here, and you're gonna find a bunch of listings.
All right, Dan. I know we got some other people that just joined us. Probably like, what in the world are we doing here, guys? You just pulling up items by brand name. Instead of scanning UPC codes, they're starting with clearance. And then you're looking at listings that have a high price point. They're thinking, wow, that seems like a lot for that product. Going into the listing, is it really selling at that price? Okay, it is. Really cool. Now let's check and find a source. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's it's really a fairly simple process. It does take practice. Don't look. It's tried every time. It's worked every time I've tried it. So if you just started doing this, it may not work right away. Don't just search one thing and go, oh, it doesn't work. I've had people tell me that, no, it doesn't work. I tried it. Well, how many things did you search? Well, I just tried just one thing that I knew of. Really? I mean, if you're going to give up that easily, it's going to be tough to succeed in Amazon. You cannot give up or selling online. You got to be stubborn. You got to want it. You got to have a motivation, external motivation, something that's getting you to the end of that tunnel. Look, my motivation was looming bankruptcy, no debt up to my eyeballs. I'm like that old commercial, the guy's driving around, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. Please help me. He's driving around on his lawnmower and he's just smiling the whole time, but a fake smile. That's kind of how I felt. So it's, I had that motivation. I wanted to get my family in a better situation, not skim the treetops my whole life. Yeah. So it's just, another secret is I always have a song that gets me through. I listen to the same song probably 2-3 months in a row.
Sweet Georgia Brown. It's always mine.
Yeah. And every day I'll try to listen to it once. And
yeah,
it's kind of my theme of the quarter. So I shared that with somebody earlier, but just kind of have those things that make you want to get up and make this work. And this is just the beginning of your journey. If you're doing arbitrage or retail online arbitrage, look, this is just the beginning. I still do this all the time, but we have, Ryan and I and everyone else you see answering questions. We have other parts of our business that hum along as well, doing wholesale and private label and just numerous other aspects you can do to succeed in this. So imagine if you just had a nice base of replenishable items you could sell over and over again. And you could put that on autopilot really easily. You could give anyone a shopping list. Hey, watch my inventory, reorder these items when they run low. And that's super easy to outsource. You don't have to teach them anything. Just teach them to reorder and prep the items and ship it in.
Totally true. You shouldn't have said something about the song. Everybody's asking what your favorite song is or what song you're referring to. You don't have to share it if you don't want to.
Well, yeah, I'll share it. It's let me. I'm bad with artists, and
you can just sing it.
David Dunn. I don't have to worry. He's a Christian artist. David Dunn. Sing it. I could play it, but then we'll get shut down by Facebook.
Right, exactly. Yeah, don't do that.
I shared that with someone. David Dunn, I don't have to worry. Yeah, you can get on YouTube. He's probably one of my favorite artists. So, any other things I could do? Questions and just give me a little whet your appetite here. We're just I'm barely scraping the surface here, scratching the surface, as they say. There's a lot more to this, but this really gives you a good start. You can just take off and go with it.
Totally can, guys. And this is what we want to teach you in the Proven Q4 playing groups is that we want to teach you a system that you can replicate yourself. And this is one that you can do. Now you're going to go home, you're going to do this tonight and find 25 things. Yeah, maybe not, but you know what? We've at least taught you like the steps, and we're going to keep going and just hitting this hard in the Q4 group over and over and over again. Danny's going to be doing live RA sourcing. Kate's going to be doing over the shoulder stuff as well. I mean, Danny's already been in the group and posting live videos from stores. So we already got awesome training there. And then we're going to be doing lots of this over the shoulder OA sourcing, exactly like this, going through the exact same process, probably different products, but it's a process that you guys can learn and implement. And I promise you, it will change your business. This is the key. Replens are going to be a key to you reaching your goals in this business.
Yeah, guys, I'm glad, happy you joined us. There's a lot of Q4 specific strategies with this as well. So look forward to sharing that with you, and not make Q4 stressful. We don't want to make it stressful for you. It's just my nature to be kind of laid back and just take it easy type person, but I take business seriously. I own and operate many businesses. And so, but it doesn't do anything to get worried. I guess maybe that's why I like that song I mentioned. So there's no reason to be all worried about it, and just kind of, just enjoy the Christmas season, and don't make it stressful. Make the choice to enjoy it, make it memorable.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's not so enjoyable when you're running all over town struggling. You got, I have to find this hot toy. So this is the strategy that's going to keep you where it's not so stressful.
That's right. Exactly.
Let's see. Let me just go a few more minutes. Any questions here that we can, what about expiration dates for online arbitrage items?
So if you're ordering it from a reputable retailer like Blaine's up here or Walmart, I've never had a circumstance where I've ordered something and go, wow, it's almost expired.
Yep.
The only time that's happened is when I ordered something from Kmart, surprise. They sent me something that was like expiring next month. Look, you need a good rule of thumb. Amazon wants you to just allow the customer have enough time to enjoy it and still be within the expiration date. If it's a fast seller, make sure it has at least 4 or 5 months until expiration. Gives it time to sell, so it's in that 90-day window. So if you're selling something that's like a pill and they have to take one a day for 90 days to consume that whole bottle, then you're going to have to add that to your expiration time frame as well. So they should be able to use the entire bottle of pills before they expire. So something to keep in mind. But for food items like this, it's got to just give yourself some cushion. Give yourself at least 4 or 5 months. That's usually a good place to be. So I wouldn't want to get some stale crackers, from Amazon. I'd be kind of upset.
Stale crackers? Yeah, you wouldn't want to get that.
I like my vegetable thins. What's that?
Brent says Q4 not stressful. Ha.
It shouldn't be. It should be a fun time, memorable. It's a great season.
Justin's asking, how much do you typically factor into ROI for FBA fees? Does it change for price brackets or different categories?
Different categories charge different referral fees. Clothing is the highest. Electronics or video game consoles would be the lowest. So it does vary, but if you use there's a multitude of scanning apps you can use. They show you the fees and then your gross proceeds. That would be the money you were left with to work with. So you have to subtract your buy cost from that. If we go back to, I'll just show you real quick. If you were to look at this listing here, and just a little free extension here, you can use the FBA calculator as well. Just type in Amazon FBA calculator. You could just type in your sale price, whatever it costs you. Let's say it costs you $7, and your price per pound to ship it. Let's say these are kind of heavy, so maybe it costs you 50 cents. You're going to put it in the box with other items, so that's why it may only cost you 50 cents when it's broke down to an item level. And you calculate your net profit here. It's got all your fees subtracted, so 476 for fulfillment fees. Total fulfillment costs are 526. Your gross proceeds or seller proceeds are 1173. That's what Amazon's going to send to you when you sell that. They're going to take out their fees first, so that's what you're going to be left with. So to know your profit, subtract your buy cost, and this is how we get a net profit in your net profit percent. So
that's good. Danny Suman says, Danny, you're in a different league. Us newbies get the adrenaline rush from stressing. And guys, I understand it's kind of the stress of Q4 is kind of fun, but you can't keep that up all year long.
You'll burn yourself out. So that you just have to choose to
sleep in Q4. Well, you have to sleep sometime during the year. And so the strategies we're teaching in the proven Q4 plan are the things that are going to carry you through the year to have a successful 2019, not just a successful Q4 2018, because your business, you want to have a good January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September as well. And the strategies that we're teaching in the proven Q4 plan will help you do that. And you don't really want the stress during those times. It's just so much easier to have a grocery list that you're buying from rather than, oh, I'm in a Walmart, I got to find clearance, or I don't have any sales, in a week, because you just feel like you're always running around looking for clearance, and that's not a way to build a long-term stable business. And so we want to give you the tools and resources to have a business that basically you can count on it. You know that I got 50 items that I just need to stay in stock. Now, does that go down to 49 or 48 once in a while? You have to find 2 more to replace it? Sure. But it's not like it's just not the same stress level as it would be if you're just always looking for new inventory.
Just remember one thing, Q4, I could shop, I stay up all night, and I've shopped late before and shopped and picking up some items that I ran out of stock on. After everyone's in bed, you could shop 24/7 if you want to and never send enough inventory to Amazon. But you do have to make a good choice to balance your personal life and your arbitrage or your Amazon business. You're never going to be old someday and go, I wish I spent more time shopping. No, it's always going to be, I wish I spent more time with my family or doing something I like, or I spent too much time on vacation. That's never going to be the answer. It's always going to be, you wish you spent more time with your children, your family, or doing something you love. So go ahead and make that choice now, and don't regret that someday. So yeah, you could run around but all day, all night if you wanted to. So
I wish I would have spent more time on webinars with Ryan and Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not something I'm going to think about. Say, hey, I wish I spent more hours on the Zoom webinar, maybe. But
oh my gosh.
So,
man. Well, guys, we need to wrap this up. I know it's already, we've gone almost an hour and a half. Didn't plan on going this long, but I know it's great information. Again, we're going to be doing so many more trainings like this. If this is valuable to you, you could get value out of this, and this is the way for you to go. Love to have you join us in the Proven Q4 Plan groups. It's just provenq4plan.com. We already are rocking it. We done 2 boot camp sessions so far. Saturday during the day, we're going to go over a lot of RA and OA training. We're going to knock out a lot of the boot camp on Saturday. And so there's still time to grab that. That's going to be awesome. It's me and Danny and Honey and Kate going to be on from about 9 a.m. Central to about 3 Central. Covering tons of content. We'll all be recorded because I know not everybody wants to sit around for 6 hours and listen to us, but it will all be recorded there. And we're also going to take some of the long videos that we're doing in there and break them into smaller, shorter videos that are able to be consumed. And also, guys, another thing is we just learned today is we're going to have somebody transcribe the webinars, the main webinars in there, because I know not every one of you can sit through multiple webinars. I understand that. I would rather read content as well. So we're going to provide another way for those of you that would rather read through a PDF and just read the transcript. So another way to consume the content. So Danny, anything else before we let these folks
guys,
go to bed?
Look forward to seeing you. Maybe I'll rub off on you for those of you who can't have trouble relaxing during Q4. So just hang out with me in the Q4 groups, and maybe we'll turn you into more of a relaxed person. So
that's right. Cool. Guys, have a great evening. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Just let us know how we can help you out. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for letting us.
Talk to you all soon.
All right. See you guys.